Oh, Lauren, Lauren, queen of the screen. With Botox so tight, you look like a dream. But your skin's so thin, it's like tissue paper. One wrong word and poof, you're a vapor. Hey, Lauren, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' kin, what a sight. From YouTube throne, Queen Lauren's so grand. Now cast to the peasants with pitchforks in hand. You dish out the drama, true crime with flair. But cross your highness, oh beware. Family members grieving, you pounce like a cat. Claws out and hissing, imagine that. Botox can't hide that frown upside down. Your kingdom's crumbling, you're losing your crown. Hey, Lauren, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' skin, what a sight. From YouTube throne, Queen Lauren's so grand. Now cast to the peasants with pitchforks in hand. Once upon a vid, you ruled the true crime wave. Subs in the millions, oh what a rave. But thin skin and sore toes led to your fall. Now you're scrolling comments, ignored by all. Peasant life calls with no royal decree. Just Botox bills and reality TV. Hey, Lauren, Lauren, pack up your crown. The kingdom's evicting, you're heading downtown. Toes still aching, tears on your sheets. But hey, next adventure, true crime on the street. From queen to the fields with the mud and the muck. Lauren, oh Lauren, next time, better luck. Apologize, Lauren, to victims of our...
Good afternoon. I'm triggered. I went live. We're going to talk about what triggered me, okay? This is for all of the hidden true crime cult members. Okay? Here we go. That is what we're going to talk about. Now, I'm absolutely certain that the hidden true crime cult members, they're going to be all in a tizzy. They're going to say, oh dear, you're going to cause us to have an epileptic seizure, with my black and white trigger warning. Okay. So for all of you little snowflakes out there in Lauren land, I'll take my trigger warning down. Bill, would you please put our fine feathered friends in the other room, because they're loud? Would you send Barry and Fancy to the kingdom? Thank you. Sorry about that. The true crime cult members also told me that the birds were just too much to take. It just was too much for them to manage. So we need to work really hard over here to accommodate the Lauren land inhabitants. Okay? All right. This is what triggered me. Hey, Whistle Down, good to see you. Here's what triggered me. All right? Let's talk about it. I just answered them, right? I was just going through real quick. I'm getting ready to get on an airplane. Just, I had a few minutes to put my feet up, and then I ran across these comments. And thank you, Daz. I love my birds too. Barry Behind Bars, of course, named after one Barry Morfield, and Fancy Behind Bars, his wife. Okay, now that. So I was just going to answer these and then move on into my, my life, get on an airplane, go someplace fun and exciting, and live my very best life. And then I had to deal with, you know who, the inhabitants of Lauren Land. Okay. So let's look to see what the brilliant genius cult members of Lauren Land, let's see what their comments and thoughts were about my coverage of Lauren and John Matthias, specific to Charles Vallow family members, Larry K. Woodcock, Crescia, JJ, Tylee, Colby Ryan, and yes, even I even include Tammy Daybell and Joe Ryan in that. And how I feel about the way that Lauren and John Matthias have treated Christina and the girls. Meaning Janice and Lindsay and all of them. And what my previous comments were today, actually, my earlier live, about the way that John Matthias and Lauren sort of worked together to give this impression that when they did their interview with Stacey Wondra, that they were working for law enforcement, and why that's just Lauren Matthias being a liar. I said, I want to be very clear. You can go over to Everyday with Jay. Last night, she covered the interview or the night before last, she covered the interview John Matthias did with Stacey Wondra, he's now been arrested for the murder of Michael Vaughn. Okay. But a year ago, they did an interview with Stacey Wondra. Every Day with Jay covered it. You got to go over and watch it. It's really quite something. She presented it really well. Her commentary was good. It's a good listen. It's a really good listen. So I made my comments on the interview, and here, I don't mind repeating it. Let me be clear about what I said. Okay. I said that beyond a shadow of a doubt, I know this. Okay. I know this information. If you are asked as a licensed psychologist, if you are asked to do an evaluation or an interview, if you are being asked in your professional capacity to interview a potential suspect or someone who has already been arrested and they just want you to go into the jail and do an evaluation, or no matter how big or small their request, here's the reality. If the request is made by the police now have custody of your data. Any information that you get from that interview or psych eval, 100% belongs to the cop or the cops. Or if you are requested by a prosecutor to do a psych eval, you go in, you question, you talk to them a couple of times, you analyze the data, you write your report. Guess who all that information belongs to? Yeah, the prosecutor, the people that asked for it, the people that paid you for it. And I don't have the freedom to take my report or my information and make a YouTube video about it. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not that I wouldn't want to do it. You're not allowed to do it. And vice versa. If a defense attorney hires me to go in and do an evaluation, who does that information belong to? It belongs to the defense attorney. I can't turn around and go run to the prosecutor and say, hey, they told me who really did the murder. I can't do that. My lips are legally sealed. It is completely the property of the person that commissions the work. Okay? There's no doubt about that. Now, here's the problem. The problem is that Lauren was being interviewed by her Mormon bestie, Trisha of Web Sleuths. And of course, Trisha, who has no idea what she's talking about, says, oh, well, you should make sure that the cops see this. This is such good information. And it was at that point that the problem happened, that Lauren starts grinning like a Cheshire cat from the Alice in Wonderland series. She starts grinning like a Cheshire cat, and she's like, oh, they know. They know. I'm pretty sure they've seen it, commissioned by a third party. So Lauren is big fat liar. Yeah, John, do me a favor, okay? Talk about to your wife about the difference between lies of commission and lies of omission. Okay? Then maybe it'll be okay. Lies of omission is where you intentionally leave out the pertinent part. You leave out the part that is the real information. So instead of her saying, oh, they've seen it, Brandy asked us to interview him, and then we told the cops we had the information and we forwarded it to them. That's all she had to say. But her presentation, her body language, the way that she managed that moment was to, I think, in my opinion, it was to impress Trisha, to impress the cult members by saying, oh, you small, stupid, ignorant child. Don't you realize me and John, we're so important. We do the work of law enforcement. It's so cute that you don't know that, Trisha. It's just so cute that you and your subscribers don't really understand just how important John and I are for getting Stacey Wandra arrested, and how important it was that I was there to make sure that JJ Vallow and Charles Vallow, that they got justice. It's just cute that you guys are so stupid and small and insignificant that you just don't understand the immense greatness that is Lauren Matthias. Okay, you're full of it, Lauren. You're a liar to these people. You intentionally gave the impression that you guys were requested to do this interview by law enforcement. That's what you did. Why? Why would you do that other than to impress people with bullshit? You know what that is? That is a very good description. Dr. Ramani, who is the queen of narcissism, Dr. Ramani, a real psychologist, would say narcissists believe themselves to be above everyone else, that they're special, without ever having actually achieved anything. They just think there's like a birthright of some sort, that they're just better than me and you. And that's kind of what Lauren did in that moment. Law enforcement didn't ask them to do law enforcement damn sure did not ask Lauren to interview Stacey Wandra. That we can be certain of. And it is highly unlikely, given the set of circumstances, that law enforcement requested the interview by John Matthias, a licensed forensic psychologist. It's actually a licensed psychologist who specializes in forensics. That's the proper terminology. The reason that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that John Matthias was not requested by law enforcement to do that interview is, had he been, he would not have had the freedom to post the interview. Patreon, paywall or not, he wouldn't be allowed to do that. That would be considered highly unethical and against the laws that govern his license. So I'm going to go with John Matthias knows what he's doing, and he would never violate the law or his code of ethics. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to choose to believe that he would never do that, and that the interview was done either on his own and Lauren is just full of shit, or that the mother of Michael Vaughn requested that. And I don't think that would be unusual. I think Brandy making that request seems very logical to me, right? It makes sense to me. That's what I do believe happened. My opinion is Brandy made the request of John and he accommodated that, and that's good. And if that's the way that it all played out, then he has every right to post that video. It belongs to him. Or I guess if Brandy Vaughn wanted to challenge it, she could say that belongs to her. She could maybe take him to court for that. I'm not saying she would. I'm just explaining ownership of information that comes from a professional relationship. Okay. So he, under no circumstances, he has no ability, no right to post the interview with Stacey Wandra if it was commissioned by the prosecuting attorneys, the investigators, the defense attorney. He doesn't have the right to do it. And he wouldn't do it. I don't believe, not for a minute, that he would. I believe he would not. Lauren is the problem. It's not the interview. It's not John Matthias. Lauren is the problem. Lauren sitting up there acting like she was so important and so special and the keeper of holy things. Then, why didn't you, Lauren, look, people are onto you. People get what you're doing. And you still have some hanger-ons. You have some and a couple of them are here on my channel leaving comments. They're still out there, but man, there's not many anymore, is it? Because of this kind of thing, Lauren. And people are going to continue to expose you. They're going to continue to tell the truth about you. So the way she answered Trisha, it sent a message that it was law enforcement that commissioned the interview, that asked John to do the work. And that is not, I don't believe that. I have no belief that he would work for the cops and then turn around and post the interview that they own. That property belongs to whoever commissioned it. And believe he could put it behind a paywall and they would never find out. He is not dumb. He would not do that. I have no doubt. If he did do it, it's a serious problem. But I don't think he did. I just want to be really clear about that. This was 100% about Lauren trying to show off. Lauren, once again, riding the coattails of John. That's what she's so foolish. She had no idea that she was putting his license in danger by doing that, by saying that in the way that she did. She had no idea she was actually stepping on professional toes. It's crazy what she did. It's really crazy. So anyway, during that live, MP Now 512 left a message. You sound angry. What's really going on with you? Okay. Everybody's a psychologist, right? Okay. Look, I promise you, MP, you know what's going on with me because I say it. Here's what you need to understand. If I don't come on, that's because I don't feel good. If I'm not going live and discussing things, it's because I'm either working lots of hours, or I'm busy with my grandbaby and daughter, or I'm not doing well. I'm depressed, or I'm anxious, or I'm angry. But if I'm here, I'm okay. I'm in charge of my faculties. And MP, here's a truth for you: anger is okay. Anger is an emotion just like love and happiness or boredom and sadness. It's just a chemical reaction in your brain. And we all have it. Every one of us experiences moment of joy and glee, and we experience irritation and anger. You are correct. I am angry. I don't mind telling people that I'm angry. Anger is not bad. It's what you do with anger that can be bad. Okay? So I wrote my response to MP Now 512. I wrote my response, and that was when I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do this. This deserves attention. This is worthy of discussion. My answer is this: I admit to being angry. Lauren Matthias has badly hurt my friend. Talking about Krisha. She has hurt my friend's family members, Kay and Larry Woodcock, the others in the family, Colby Ryan. Okay. And I feel deeply for the dirty, filthy games played by Lauren and Grayson against Christina and the other women at CrimeCon. I stand by that, MP Now 512. Totally stand by that. Said what I mean what I say. To have a behemoth channel publicly slandering you, calling you a stalker over and over, when in fact the body cam recordings and the phone recordings show Lauren and Grayson were stalking Christina. That is fact. Grayson and Lauren, MP Now 512, they set up Christina. They knew that Christina had already bought her tickets to CrimeCon almost a year in advance. They could have given a restraining order at any point, but they, MP Now, waited for CrimeCon to start. They waited for the day that Christine would make the drive to Aurora and get to the hotel and start to go into CrimeCon. They waited for maximum effect. I'm angry. And if you were not a cult member, MP Now, you would be angry too, because it is outrageous behavior. It is outrageous. Lauren and Grayson were stalking. They squealed with glee. You can hear it on the police body cam as they're walking away. Literally squealed with happiness, joy. Because this woman, Christina, purchased her expensive tickets, paid for a hotel room, and found herself in a place where she thought she was going to spend several days with her friends, enjoying themselves. And now she's been humiliated, publicly humiliated, and blocked from something that they had been planning for a year. You did it purposefully. The letters to Aurora Police Department, to detectives, a homicide detective, Lauren, you bitch, you literally lied to Aurora Police Department. Literally, you said you were a speaker. You were not a speaker at CrimeCon. What's wrong with you, Laura? Even more important, what's wrong with you, Dr. John? Dr. Matthias? This, this is incredible behavior. Incredible. You want to find somebody that is unethical and highly possibly immoral? Look no further than Lauren Matthias. This is insanity. This is craziness. So, yes, MP Now, I'm angry and I own it. I want you to know, MP, I am angry. And if you had any good sense, you would be angry too. Good, decent people will be angered by this terrible behavior of Lauren and Grayson and even Dr. John. Normal, good, decent people would have empathy and they would put themselves in Christina's shoes and think, my God, what it's unbelievable. They were not stalking Lauren at all. The TikToks, which thankfully have been recorded and are being disseminated throughout the true crime community so everybody can see the truth. The TikToks that Christina made, do you guys know she never, not once says Lauren's name? Doesn't say the name of Hidden True Crime. Makes no indication who she's talking about. I mean, I'm really quite shocked that you're not angry about it. I think if you're the kind of person that you look at some like a TV personality and you instantly, turn to jelly. You look at a YouTube creator that's got 100,000 subscribers or more, you just faint and swoon. I think you need to do a lot of self-reflection and try to figure out your own identity problems. There's some really shitty people that are really famous. We could start with Epstein if you wanted to, MP Now. Epstein is well known. Yeah, I'm mad. You're right. I own it. Absolutely 100%. I'm saying it out loud. I've written it in black and white so you can see it. And I'm explaining to the world why I am experiencing this healthy emotion of anger, why I have decided to speak out against Hidden True Crime and Lauren Matthias. I'm telling you what has made me angry, MP Now. So please spare me and the rest of the community follow-ups where you come in and be the psychologist or therapist or whatever and say, oh, what's really bothering me? Okay, I'm telling you what's bothering me. I'm not projecting something that's not real. I'm explaining to you there is an egregious, outrageous situation that has unfolded that has harmed a lot of really good people. And you have made the mistake of standing on the side of the not really good people. Don't call yourself a true crime fan or like a true crime community fan if your choice is to go against crime victims, their families. Don't do that because that makes you a hypocrite. That makes you full of it. Kresha, Kay, Larry, Colby Ryan, Every one of them. Tammy Daybell, probably Joe Ryan, all of them. They in no way deserve any additional stress or harm against them. Lauren Matthias is harming Crescia. Lauren Matthias hurt Kay Woodcock. Lauren Matthias hurt her friends, Gigi, Awen Reese. Lauren Matthias has violated nearly everyone that we've heard of in the true crime community. Well, not Duty Ron or Trisha. We can't forget them. But, are they part of the Mormon Consortium of True Crime? Are they? So I don't know how else to make it any clearer. MP Now 512, you're right. I am angry, and good, decent people should be angry. You ought to be angry, and you ought to be spreading the word about what is making you angry. All right. And there is another comment here. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. Here's the other one I want to comment on. This is, whoops. Okay. This one is, here we go. Crying for, I'm sorry, at For Crying Out Loud 778. Okay. I feel sure that everyone who interviews a suspect turns the video over to law enforcement. Do you really? Really? Why? Huh? Why you feel so sure of that? Where's your evidence? You're supposed to be true crime community. Where's the evidence of that? Are you programmed? Have you been programmed to never question the great and powerful Lauren Matthias? Huh? It's not nefarious to indicate that they have it. Yeah, you clearly didn't understand what I said. Lauren took it too far when she struck Crescia and now sued her. But I still hate the attacks on John's profession and the attacks on Lauren's face. Okay. The attacks on John's profession, that's not happening. That didn't happen. No one attacked psychology. No one. The discussion that you're referring to was about professional ethics and the laws that govern his license. Let's be really clear about this. I said one of two things was happening. There is no third that I can come up with. One of two things. Number one, Lauren lied. Lauren committed a lie of omission, and she intentionally sent a message through her nonverbal communication that the interview was requested by law enforcement. And if that's true, if law enforcement did ask John to do it, then John has a serious professional and ethical violation by posting it on Patreon, by posting it anywhere, paywall or not. I don't care about paywall. And you didn't hear me say this, for crying out loud, so I'll say it again. I said I said, I don't believe he did that. I don't believe he would do that. People protect their license at all cost. He would never, I believe this in my bones, he would never be asked by law enforcement or a prosecutor or defense attorney, he would never be asked to do this eval and then turn around and post portions of it for his financial gain. He would never do that because of how egregious it would be toward his professional license. I don't believe he did that. I'm telling you now, for crying out loud, I do not think he did that. That only leaves one other possibility, that Lauren manipulated her listeners intentionally. Don't you care about that at all? Do you give a shit about that? That this woman is so hungry to be famous and beloved and special, to be better than you, for crying out loud. Lauren Matthias wants to be better than you. She wants you to bow down to her greatness. And she uses John's license to do that. She uses him. So if you're okay with your queen sitting there on her channel, putting his professional license in jeopardy, fine, be a cult member. I don't care. But spare me the bullshit outrage. There's nothing outrageous that's happened here except what's come out of that dumb channel, Hidden True Crime. They're the ones that are being outrageous, for crying out loud. I don't know how much clearer anyone could make that. Okay, so she goes on to say, or he, I don't know who this, for crying out loud, is. Lauren took it too far when she struck Crusha and sued her, but I still hate the attacks on John's profession and the attacks on Lauren's face. By the way, do you know something? John's profession is the same as my profession. Did you know that? We're exactly the same. So why would I be attacking my own profession? I love my profession. And I make damn sure that I know my ethics and I follow the state laws that in which I'm practicing to a T. And if I have any doubt, I don't say, oh, well, I'll skirt this issue if anybody calls me out. Nope, that's not what I do. I pick up and I call the attorneys. Hey, this is what I want to do. Does that sound okay? Am I looking at any kind of problems? What about ethical problems? I look for guidance. I seek out guidance, not just with colleagues, other licensed psychologists, but I actually call the licensing board. They have attorneys there that are willing to talk to you and help you in these, making decisions about what you want to do. So I don't have a problem with John Matthias's profession. Not at all. I also said, I'll say it again, I do not believe that he was asked to do the interview by law enforcement or any attorneys that are involved in the case of Michael Vaughn. I don't believe he did. He would never post that data, that information, for his own financial benefit or gain. He knows the licensing code. He knows the laws. He wouldn't do it. That only leaves one other choice, that Lauren Matthias intentionally misled Trisha of Web Sleuths and intentionally misled the listeners so that she could look false, appear to be, but not really is, special and important. Lauren Matthias, you are not special. You're not uh, accomplished, there's very little earned accomplishment in your life. And when you lie to subscribers to suggest otherwise, you're engaging in egregious behavior. They were lies of omission, Lauren, and they matter. Now, for crying out loud, goes on to say, I still hate the attacks on John's profession and the attacks on Lauren's face. You are the one who has lectured your listeners. I don't lecture. I don't lecture. I give my opinion. I speak. And whether somebody wants to listen to me or not, well, that's up to you. You don't have to sit in my channel and listen to what I'm saying. The listeners, what you are the one who has lectured your listeners on the fact that human beings are fragile, not all of them, and should not be piled on because you don't know what will happen to them. I am not responsible for the entire population of the world. I have the legal right to give my opinion, and I will. And do you want to know, for crying out loud, you want to know how I know that I have the legal right, that there's no ethical issue with me voicing my opinion, even if my opinion includes outrage? I still can do that. The lawyers at the licensing board. The only thing I have to do is make it very clear that I am not acting in the capacity of my work. And I have fully met that obligation. Every video I make, I say it. That's not what John Matthias is doing, is it? He's getting up there with his little books. He's going through diagnostic criteria. He is out and out going through a diagnostic process with the camera rolling. So little miss, for crying out loud person says, well, you humans are fragile and they shouldn't be piled on because you don't know what will happen to them. I guess you don't care about that anymore. I guess you just don't care. Feeling pretty good about yourself, aren't you? Feeling pretty, built yourself up, feeling tough. Yeah. Virtue signal much. I hate bullying no matter who it's done to. Well, you kind of don't act that way. You kind of give the impression that you think that Lauren and John are more important than Kresha and Kay and Awen. That's kind of interesting to me. What's the matter? Kresha's not like well known enough for you. Kresha doesn't have enough subscribers to make you feel virtuous. You got to err on the side of numbers. Ooh, if I support Lauren, I'll have more friends. But if I support Kresha, I may lose friends. Don't come in here with your virtue signaling with that weak bullshit. Absolutely not. I hate bullies. And I don't give a shit if they have 130,000 subscribers and they walk around with a PhD in their back pocket. I don't care. A bully is a bully is a bully. There is nothing that Kresha has done to deserve this. And in a language that hopefully you'll understand, Kay Woodcock is entitled to speak her story. Lauren Matthias might as well have taken a sock and shoved it down Kay Woodcock's throat and Kresha's throat and Awen's throat. She struck the video, and now she has taken this family that has lost so incredibly much. She's taken them to copyright court. Are you stupid? Like low IQ dumb? Who are the bullies here? Are you paying attention? Kay Woodcock, Kresha, they should all be allowed to get up on their channel and say their story. They are allowed to speak factually their experiences. But if the great and powerful Lauren Matthias and John Matthias, if they're scared of those texts getting out so that people like you will find out what they're really like, the real people that they are, the money grubbing grifters that they act like on YouTube, well, then they don't give a shit about victims' families. Who are the bullies? Are you still confused about who the bullies are and who the people are that deserve to be supported? Who are they? And then you say, well, you can go on your channel and you say mean things about, Lauren McGolden Arches. You can be mean and you can bully, but how does that do anything? I'll tell you how it does something. When a channel with 130,000 subscribers comes for a channel that has 100 subscribers, you are terrified. You run the risk of forever being erased by dumbasses like you. If we, the little small channels, if we were not speaking out in support of this family, in support of Christina and the other women in her friend group, if we were not speaking out, they would be chewed up and spit out by the hidden faux gems. You guys have no clarity at all to look at the facts of what's actually unfolded. The only thing you can see is, this is my queen. Lauren Matthias is my queen. Lauren got on a live and wept for 9 hours so that my empathy would be fired up and I would feel the need to protect her. That you can't think past her level of manipulation. You have failed, Kresha. You have failed Kay and Larry Woodcock. You have failed JJ and Tylee. You have failed Charles Vallow. You have failed Tammy Daybell. You have failed even Joe Ryan. And Colby, you've actually turned your back on Colby as well. But I'm not going to comment on that because I think that is sacred. You need to do some soul searching. You need to first figure out who are the actual victims here. You think me, my tiny little inconsequential channel, being outraged and speaking my truth, you think that's going to hurt a woman like Lauren Matthias? Are you really? It would be like if a fly was able to take down a bald eagle. I'm nothing. I'm nobody here. Lauren's got her very own cult. You guys are mindless. You guys are just, give me more. Tell me more. Tell me what to think, Lauren. Tell me more. Yeah, make me feel bad. Cry. I need more. I need more. Here's money. Let me give you money. You back off a little bit. Do a little bit of soul searching. Tell the complete story to some of your friends that are not involved in true crime, that don't know the people that are involved, and let them tell you their impressions about who the real bully is. So you guys go on. Y'all go right ahead. Y'all keep coming on here. You keep leaving your shitty little virtue signaling statements, and I will keep going live and reading them. All right. So here is my answer for crying out loud. I care very much. Lauren Matthias has adorned herself queen, and she is hurting many. Because of people like you, those people deserve to be publicly supported. What kind of maniac makes millions of dollars off of a family's dead, murdered loved ones, and then silences those family members and takes them to court? Do me a favor, stay out of my channel. I have zero interest in the thoughts of a cult member. Now, I wrote that, and I mean it. And that's why I decided to go live and do this. I want to be very clear. I mean it. All right. Mystic Firefly. I am just here to educate you guys. Yep, Milky the Clown. I don't have hardly any subs, but the subs I have are great. And they can think. They're smart. And that's good for me. So, I wish I had more subscribers too, and that's okay. But I love the ones I have. So there we are. I don't see, there's Miss Firefly. Also that she sounded like she will hurt herself, not to mention others. Yep, lots of ways you can share your concerns to YouTube. Hold on. I'm trying to get, what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to get to Mystic Fireflies. Hold on. I'm scrolling up, Mystic. Hold on. Okay, I think yeah. Okay. So Mystic starts with LOL, L's the elder, and then we go to how many of us, okay, here we go. How many of us reported the video as we were concerned about Lauren's mental wellness? I know I did. Okay. As you should have, Mystic Firefly. Hold on. Also, that Lauren sounded like she will hurt herself, not to mention others. Yep. Lots of ways you can share your concerns to YouTube. 100% agree, Mystic Firefly. And I'm going to address that, but let me make sure I got to the bottom of your comments. And I really appreciate those comments. Hold on. I'm still looking. I am just here to educate you guys. And you have, okay. If you click on those three dots, you can see all the reporting options, just so you all know. Thank you, Mystic. Mystic is busy educating us on, making sure people are okay. Now then, and so Mystic Firefly, dot to dot, there's lots of therapists, there's lots of mental health professionals that are on YouTube, and all of what Mystic has said is correct. Here's where your problem is, okay? We should never, ever ignore threats or discussions of self-harm. There's no like mathematical calculation that one can do to determine if a threat is legitimate or not. In fact, there are many people that harm themselves and they never said a word, that nobody had even an idea that they were dealing with depression. Okay, so there's no mathematical equation that you can make a determination if the threat is real or not, which is why the very moment someone begins talking about self-harm, even if it is passive type of references to self-harm, it should be reported for safety. So to help, not to punish people, but to get them the proper help, right? But what do we also know about domestic violence? What do we know about people that are abusers? Let me pose this in the chat because I know you guys already know the answer to this. What do we know about people who are controlling, and when they start saying, I'm going to kill myself. If you try to divorce me, I'm going to kill myself. If you try to leave me, I'm going to hurt myself. What do we know about that? Is that a legitimate threat to self-harm? Or is that something that is classified as abusive? It is coercive abuse. Thank you, Elder. Thank you so much. And again, Mystic Firefly is telling you. Coercive abuse. It is a common tactic for an abuser, a person who doesn't care about your feelings, a sociopathic type of person, to be threatened by saying, I'm going to hurt myself. It's going to be your fault. Guess who did that? Guess who did it? Barry Morphew. Didn't you, Barry? Oh, yeah. You know you did, buddy. He stood in that closet. He backed his 100-pound wife into a corner in the back of her closet, and he put a gun to his head, and he threatened to do it, to pull the trigger. What? You think that was real? Or do you think it was designed to whip Suzanne into shape? Was it designed to force Suzanne to act like he wanted her to act, to do what he wanted her to do? I have exactly zero understanding of Lauren Matthias. I do not know her. Anything that she says or does on her channel is considered theater. You don't know her. We don't know her. The person that she presents herself to be on the channel, you and I, we don't know. Grayson knows Lauren. John Matthias knows Lauren. And John said, hey, Grayson, I need you to stay with Lauren today because last night she had threats of self-harm. And then he left. Now, she also repeated over and over, I feel threatened. I feel threatened. We don't, how many times do we walk around and go, I feel threatened. I feel threatened. I feel threatened. Right? All the buzzwords. She's saying all the right things that she thinks is going to get the judge on her side. Do you feel manipulated? Do you feel manipulated? I feel manipulated. You know who I do not feel like is manipulating? I have never, not once ever, felt manipulated by Crusha. Never. Not once. I never, ever, ever, ever felt manipulated by Kay Woodcock or Larry Woodcock. Never felt manipulated by Colby. Never felt manipulated by any of them. I sure feel manipulated by Lauren. All right. I've answered the questions or state. She was using all the buzzwords. Yes, thank you. It absolutely was. It was terrible. I've answered the questions by the hidden gems. Okay. I've answered the questions. I am standing by my statements. So that will save the rest of you guys from needing to type and say your virtue signaling messages, okay? I mean what I say. I don't know what else to say. It is my opinion based on the body cam, Lauren's behavior online, John Matthias's behavior. It is my opinion. Lauren and John are the bullies. And I am going to stand up for my friend. I am going to stand up for just overall right versus wrong as I see it. So spare yourselves, okay? Don't get all in a tizzy and need to come over and type out your crappy little comments. Don't do that. It's just a waste of time. I'm explaining to you what I believe and why I believe it. And that's the best I can do. All right. How can you stick up for that sick, unethical misogynist? I don't know who you're talking about, Bells Linden. I'm going to assume you may be talking about, Micah Miller. Why are we talking about Micah Miller? Okay, I got to go. That's the big issue, isn't it? That all the trials were finished and now there's no money to be made and their house isn't finished being built. So they still need that money rolling in, don't they? Oh, I agree, Kylie. 100%, Kylie. Grayson needs to go home to her mom and dad. That she needs to be in a sane, calm environment. I watched the channel a few times. It was a great hook, a journalist and a prison psychologist. I can't remember if it was the Delphi case or another. There was just something off and off-putting. Thank you, Marlene. Well said. All right, guys, I've got to go. I hate to leave, but I got to do it. All right. Y'all have a wonderful afternoon. And if someone says, my goodness, what's going on with Jules? She seems angry. I want you to say, she is. All right. Y'all have a great day. See you later. Bye.
Oh, Lauren, Lauren, queen of the screen. With Botox so tight, you look like a dream. But your skin's so thin, it's like tissue paper. One wrong word and poof, you're a vapor. Hey, Lauren, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' kin, what a sight. From YouTube throne, Queen Lauren's so grand. Now cast to the peasants with pitchforks in hand. You dish out the drama, true crime with flair. But cross your highness, oh beware. Family members grieving, you pounce like a cat. Claws out and hissing, imagine that. Botox can't hide that frown upside down. Your kingdom's crumbling, you're losing your crown. Hey, Lauren, Lauren, toes all sore and red. From folks stepping on them, now you're crying in bed. People are mean, you wail through the night. But you swing at victims' kin. the true crime wave. Subs in the millions, oh what a rave. But thin skin and sore toes led to your fall. Now you're scrolling comments, ignored by all. Peasant life calls with no royal decree. Just Botox bills and reality TV. Hey Lauren, Lauren, pack up your crown. The kingdom's evicting, you're heading downtown. Toes still aching, tears on your sheets. But hey, next adventure, true crime on the street. From queen to the fields with the mud and the muck. Lauren, oh Lauren, next time, better luck. Apologize, Lauren, to victims of our... Oh Lauren,